Dream big and explore our world.
Storytime anytime! Hey!
A music and adventure swirl.
Storytime anytime! Hey!
A hike in the forest and swim in the sea. Meet silly creatures and learn new things. So sing great songs, travel on a train, but build a skyscraper and pilot a plane. Whatever you imagine, whatever you explore on this magical journey, there will always be more. Make new friends, come on, don't be shy. Let's get a kite and we'll fly, fly, fly. Whatever you imagine, whatever you explore on this magical journey, there will always be more.
Storytime anytime! Hey!
Whoa, now that's what I call a snowstorm. Phew. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Storytime Anytime. I hope you're keeping warm. Other than a warm blanket and a hot cup of cocoa, the best way to keep warm, I think, is to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Can you listen to this song and wiggle your fingers, toes, elbows, and nose?
I can wiggle my fingers, I can wiggle my toes, I can wiggle my elbows and even my nose. I can wiggle my ankles, I can wiggle my knees, I can wiggle, wiggle, wiggle every part of me.
I can wiggle, 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 wiggle. I can wiggle all of me. I can jiggle, 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 jiggle. Just take a look at me. I can shimmy, I can squirm. I can look just like a worm. I can wiggle, 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 wiggle. I'm a wiggle worm.
Watch me wiggle my fingers, watch me wiggle my toes, watch me wiggle my elbows and even my nose. Watch me wiggle my ankles, watch me wiggle my knees, watch me wiggle, wiggle, wiggle every part of me.
I can wiggle, 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 wiggle. I can wiggle all of me. I can jiggle, 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 jiggle. Just take a look at me. I can shimmy, I can squirm. I can look just like a worm. I can wiggle, 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 wiggle. I'm a wiggle worm.
You did a great job. Now I think it's time to be silly.
It's not time to be quiet, no, not at all. It's not time to be still, let's have a ball. It's not time to relax or sit and read, for it's time to be silly, and that's what I want to be.
Because it's silly, 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 silly time. I'm feeling all giggly, wiggly, funny and fine. It's fun to be silly, that's what I want to do. Be silly, 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 won't you be silly too?
It's not time to rest in a quiet place. It's not time for bed, come on, let's race. It's not time to whisper or go to sleep, for it's time to be silly, and that's what I want to be.
Because it's silly, 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 silly time. I'm feeling all giggly, wiggly, funny and fine. It's fun to be silly, that's what I want to do. Be silly, 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 won't you be silly too? Because it's silly, 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 silly time. I'm feeling all giggly, wiggly, funny and fine. It's fun to be silly, that's what I want to do. Be silly, 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 won't you be silly too?
Let's stand up and keep moving on this cold day.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. And eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Shoulders, Shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, and eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Knees and toes, knees and toes. Knees and toes, knees and toes, and eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Knees and toes, knees and toes. And toes, and toes. And toes, and toes, and eyes and ears and mouth and nose. And toes, and toes. And eyes and ears and mouth and nose. And ears and mouth and nose. And mouth and nose. And nose.
Wow, you are so good at following directions. Let's sing 2 more songs.
Can you swing your arms around and round? Can you turn around and touch the ground? Can you swing your arms around and round? Now touch the ground. Can you march in place with your legs up high? Can you keep your head lifted mighty high? Can you march in place with your legs up high? Now really try.
Can you twist your waist from left to right? Can you shout hooray with all your might? Can you twist your waist from left to right? You're quite a sight.
Can you settle down without a sound? Can you sit right down upon the ground? Can you settle down without a sound? You're now unwound. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know
some things that you like to do when it's too cold to play outside. What about playing board games, or building castles with boxes and blankets, or painting a picture? When I was little, we played a game called Hot Penny, Cold Penny. Do you know how to play this game? Let me explain how you play. Everyone closes their eyes as one person hides a penny somewhere in the room. Once the penny is hidden, everyone opens their eyes and tries to find the penny. If someone is getting close to the penny, the person that hid the penny will yell, "Hot penny!" If everyone is moving away from the penny, the person will yell, "Cold penny!" This continues until someone finds the penny. I also love to read books, like the boy in our first story. The Magic Clown. One day, Billy's mother bought him a present. It was wrapped in blue and yellow paper, and it had a red bow on top. Billy was so excited. "Thank you, Mom," he cried as he ran into his room and opened it up. It was a book about a magic clown who lived in a circus. Billy loved clowns more than anything else in the whole wide world. Just then, Billy heard a voice call to him. It said, "Open up the book, Billy. There is a surprise for you inside." Billy looked around, but no one was there. "Hurry up," said the voice. "The circus is about to start." Billy opened up the book. On the first page was a picture of the magic clown. He had a black hat, big white shoes, a polka dot shirt, and a bright red nose. The magic clown smiled at Billy. Then he held out his hand. Billy couldn't believe his eyes. "You can't be real," said Billy. "Come and see for yourself," smiled the magic clown. Then Billy took his hand and followed the magic clown inside the book. Billy saw many wonderful things there. He saw lions and tigers and elephants on bicycles. Suddenly, Billy heard a loud noise. Kaboom! And saw a man being shot out of a cannon. Then the magic clown introduced Billy to Bobo, the dancing bear. "Won't you dance with me?" asked Bobo. "Go ahead," said the magic clown. "It's all right." Billy danced with Bobo. "This is so much fun," said Billy as he twirled and pranced and danced around and around. Billy also met Walter, the horn-playing seal. "Come and play the horn with me," said Walter. "Okay," said Billy. Billy played the horns with Walter. "Honk, honk, honk! Beep, beep, beep! Beep, honk, honk!" "You're good enough to play in the circus," clapped Walter. Billy looked up and saw a man and a woman flying through the air on a giant swing. They were the Flying Falcons. "Come and fly with us," they called. "I'm scared," said Billy. "Don't be," said the magic clown. "I won't let anything happen to you." The Flying Falcons lowered down a rope for Billy. He climbed all the way to the top. Then he held on to the swing with both hands. "Look at me," he cried as he swung back and forth and did a flip in the air. "I'm flying like a bird." Then Billy and the magic clown met Oscar, the 10-foot giant. Oscar picked Billy up and put him on his shoulders. Way up there, Billy could see the whole circus. He saw Ernesto the Great juggling 10 balls at once. "I want to learn how to juggle like that," Billy said. He thanked Oscar and ran over to Ernesto. "Could you teach me how to juggle?" Billy asked. "Why, sure," smiled Ernesto. "Just look at the balls and concentrate." After a few minutes, Billy was juggling 3 balls in the air. "You're almost as good as I am," said Ernesto. Suddenly, Billy heard the ringmaster call. "Hurry, hurry, find your seats, everyone," he said. "The circus is about to begin." Billy and the magic clown found 2 seats in the front row and watched all of their friends perform their special acts for everyone at the circus. "There's Bobo and Walter," cried Billy, "and Oscar too. Look at Ernesto juggle all of those balls. He's even juggling one on his nose." Billy saw the flying falcons fly by, and he waved to them. Just then, Billy heard a voice call to him. "Billy, it's time for supper." "That's my mom," said Billy. "I have to go now." "I know," said the magic clown. Then he gave Billy a black hat just like his. "Whenever you want to come back to the circus and visit all of your friends," he said, "just put on this magic hat, open your book, and we will be here waiting for you." Billy thanked the magic clown for a wonderful time. Then he stepped out of his book and into his bedroom once again. With a smile on his face, he took off his hat and closed the book, but not before he waved goodbye to the magic clown and all of the magical friends that he made. Whoa, I've read a lot of books, but Billy had quite the adventure. Do you know what one of my favorite things to do during winter was as a kid? Build a snowman. My friends and I, along with my dad's help, would make a snowman as big as possible. Then we would wrap a scarf around his neck, add eyes, a carrot nose, and use sticks for his arms. We wanted our snowman to last all winter. But when it got warmer outside and the sun came out, well, our snowman would disappear. Have you ever built a snowman before? The Missing Snowman. "Mom, Dad, look!" Johnny shouted. "It's snowing! It's snowing!" And before you could say snowflake, Johnny had eaten his breakfast, dressed, and run out the door. Outside, everything was dressed in white. All the houses were wearing fluffy white hoods. Each tree was wearing long white gloves on its branches. And, best of all, a sparkling white carpet covered every yard. The snow was crisp and crunchy, perfect for building a snowman. Johnny started making snowballs. He rolled one snowball across the yard, and as it gathered up the snow, it got bigger and bigger until finally it was a huge snowball. Johnny did the same with a second snowball, then a third, until each one was just the size he needed. Then he stacked them one on top of the other and patted them smooth. When he was through, he had a snowman that was as big as he was. Johnny stood back and looked at his snowman, but something was missing. What was it? "You need some clothes, Mr. Snowman," Johnny decided. "I need to dress you up." In Johnny's basement was a chest full of dress-up clothes. In it, he found just the things he needed to turn his plain snowman into a really special one. In a corner of the basement, Johnny spotted an old box and a cardboard tube. "I can use these too," he said. And with his arms full of all these wonderful things, Johnny ran up the stairs and back outside. "You're going to look great, Mr. Snowman," laughed Johnny as he worked. "I bet no one has ever seen a snowman who looks like a pirate." "Ship ahoy! Full speed ahead!" called Johnny. "I see someone coming. Who goes there, friend or foe?" "Hi, Johnny," laughed Benji. "We saw you from our window." "Can we play?" asked Jen. We brought some things for your snowman." Johnny looked into the bag. "These are great," he said. "Let's put them on Mr. Snowman right now." And so they took off all the pirate clothes and set to work. What they saw made them all laugh. And Johnny said, "I bet no one has ever seen a snowman who looks like a clown." "Look," Johnny shouted as he made some snowballs. "I'm Johnny the juggler." "Me too," said Benji. "Oops, juggling snowballs isn't so easy." Just then, Tom and Susie came running across the street. "Can we be in your circus?" they asked. "Ginger can do lots of tricks," said Susie. "Sure," answered Johnny. Other children on the block soon arrived. They all wanted to play with Mr. Snowman. "I've got something to keep your snowman warm," said Ned. "I brought a funny nose," said Ted. "I have something for his head," said Kim. Everyone gathered around to see what the other children had brought. Then off came the clown clothes, and in no time at all, Mr. Snowman looked like a snowman. The children played all day. When the sun went down, it was time to go home. "Goodbye, Mr. Snowman," they all called. "See you tomorrow." Day after day, Mr. Snowman stood in Johnny's yard, and every day Johnny and all his friends played with him. But little by little, the days began to get warmer. And little by little, Mr. Snowman began to get smaller. The smaller he got, the sadder Johnny felt. Warmer and warmer, smaller and smaller, sadder and sadder. Finally, the day came when all that was left of Mr. Snowman was a small heap of snow. Johnny was so sad that he started to cry. He missed his snowy friend. "Can't we do something to keep Mr. Snowman alive?" Johnny asked his mom. But Johnny knew the answer even before his mother shook her head no. There would be no more snow until next winter. "Think of all the fun things you can do in the spring," said Johnny's mother. But she wished she could think of something that would really cheer him up. One afternoon, when Johnny came home from school, he saw a little box on his bed. "What is this?" he wondered. Inside the box was a beautiful glass ball, and inside the ball stood a little snowman with a top hat, a scarf, and a tiny carrot nose. "This snowman is just like Mr. Snowman," cried Johnny. When Johnny turned the ball over, a snowstorm began. Now Johnny makes snowstorms whenever he wants them, even on hot summer days. But best of all, he has a snowman to keep until he can build a real Mr. Snowman again. What are some things you like to do outside during the winter? Besides building a snowman, what about making snow angels? Be sure to bundle up with hats, gloves, and jackets if you do play outside. And when you're done, come inside and drink hot cocoa. Now that sounds like a fun day. This has been brought to you by Twin Sisters Digital Media and Evergreen Podcasts. Be sure to hit subscribe and tell your friends to join us for our next episode, I Love You More. Also, parents, for bonus content that includes picture books, activity pages, and more, be sure to click the link in the description. If your children enjoyed these songs and stories, go to twinsisters.com to find even more ways for them to sing and learn. Be sure to subscribe to our newsletter for promotions on exciting new digital learning content like these and so much more. And visit our friends at evergreenpodcasts.com. Thank you for joining us at Storytime anytime.